Hello dear students, in this video I am going to explain the poem To a Shade written by W.B. Yeats. As we all know that Yeats is the greatest poet in the history of Ireland and probably the greatest poet to write in English during the 20th century. His themes, images, symbols, metaphors, and poetic sensibilities encompass the breadth of his personal experience as well as his nation's experience during one of its most troubled times. As we have discussed in our previous video, that this poem is addressed to Parnell's ghost, and there are three stanzas. The first stanza is purely related to Parnell's ghost. The second stanza is related to and addressed to Hugh Lane. So, in the first stanza, while we see the opening lines that if you have revisited the town, thin shade, whether to look upon your monument, I wonder if the builder had been paid, or happier thought when the day is spent. To drink of that salt breathe out of the sea, when grey gulls flit about instead of men, and the gaunt houses put on majesty. Let these content you and be gone again, for they are at their old tricks yet. So, this stanza is completely related to Thomas Parnell's ghost. And as I have told you in our last video that Charles Stuart Parnell was an ardent Irish nationalist, and whatever happened to him had deeply influenced W.B. Yeats to write this poem. And this poem urges the ghost of Parnell, a martyr of Irish nationalism, not to linger in Dublin. So, in this stanza, you here refer you and the word thin in the line number 1. These two words clearly refer to the ghost of Charles Stuart Parnell. So the poet is saying that if you have revisited the town, thin shade. Now the poet is assuming that what will be the reason to revisit the town by Parnell's ghost, and here he thinks that if you have revisited the town, thin shade, whether to look upon your monument. In second line, the poet himself gives answer, himself gives the reasons that maybe Parnell's ghost is here to revisit the town to look upon his own monument. And the second reason is described in line number 5, to drink of that salt breathe out of the sea. So the first reason is mentioned in line number 2, and second reason is mentioned in line number 5. So in first line, in the opening line, poet himself says that I think you are here in the town of Dublin to revisit the town, and maybe the reasons, maybe there are various reasons, but the most prominent reason you are here to look upon your own monument or to breathe the salty smell of the sea. So here this poem urges the ghost of Parnell not to linger in Dublin, even though the occasion of his visit be the fact that a monument has been erected in his honor. Now in line number 3, notice that poet wonder, I wonder if the builder had been paid. The poet is too drastically disappointed with the behavior of the people of Dublin that he thinks that I wonder if the builder had been paid for the building of monument. Or happier thought when the day is spent. Now in line number 4, again the poet mentions the reason that whether the ghost of Parnell is in Dublin to think about the happier days that he spent here, when grey gulls flit about instead of men. And now, as the ghost of Parnell is beside the seashore, he thinks that he is here to see the grey colored gull. Gull is here mentioned about the seagull, which is a bird. So, here poet wants to say that the ghost of Parnell is here beside the seashore to visit the grey gulls flighting, but there is no men around the seashore, and the gaunt houses put on majesty. And he is here to see whether the gaunt houses means feeble or weak houses, has put on majesty. But in the but in the last two lines, the poet is so pessimistic that he says that let these content you and be gone again, for they are at their old tricks yet. Now, in these last concluding lines of this stanza, the poet urges to Parnell's ghost that you should be gone again. And in the last line, he gives a reason. The reason is that for they here refers to the pack of enemies. So, for they are at their old tricks yet. So, here Parnell is warning the ghost. So, here poet is warning the ghost of Parnell to go back again his grave, because the people of Dublin, the enemy of him, is there at their old tricks. So, the ghost of dead patriot Parnell is imagined as revisiting the town of Dublin. In the first stanza, this is the imagination that the ghost of dead patriot Parnell is revisiting the town of Dublin, and the poet gives the reason that whether to look upon the monument that has been erected in Parnell's honor, or to see the ghostly splendours of 18th century houses along the seashore. Parnell ghost is advised to leave because they are at their old tricks yet. So, the poem is in essence a criticism of the Philistinism of the people of Dublin. Now, let's move to the second stanza. The second stanza starts with a line that is, a man of your own passionate serving kind, who had brought in his full hands what had they only known, had given their children's children, loftier thought, sweeter emotion, working in their veins like gentle blood, has been driven from the place, and insult heaped upon him for his pains and for his open handedness. Disgrace, your enemy, an old foul mouth, had set the peck upon him. So, first of all, I will tell you the circumstances in which this poem was written, and I will tell you that to whom the poet is referring in this stanza as an old foul mouth. So, the following circumstances should be kept in mind while reading this poem. Hugh Lane, here in stanza 2, when we notice that line number 1 of this opening line of this stanza start with the words like a man. Here a man referred to Hugh Lane. Who was Hugh Lane? Hugh Lane was Lady Gregory's nephew. He had assembled a very good collection of modern French paintings in the course of his activities as an art dealer. He was a very famous art dealer. In 1903, he decided that Dublin needed a gallery of modern art and started making plans for it. After the gallery had taken shape in 1908, Lane enthusiastically offered the bulk of his collection as a gift to Dublin if a suitable permanent gallery were built. Lane himself strongly favored a design for a bridge gallery to be built across the Liffey. Liffey is a town in Dublin, but the Dublin's nationalists strongly disapproved of the design for the gallery and then went on to attack first Hewlin and then the paintings themselves. By 1913, all parties concerned, Lane insisted that the gallery be financed immediately, preferably by the city, but if the city refused, by private subscription. However, the private subscription proved to be totally inadequate for the purpose. And here, in the concluding lines of this stanza, an old foul mouth. You can see that here is the name suggested, an old foul mouth. Here the poet is referring to William Murphy. William Murphy had opposed Parnell violently just as he had opposed Hugh Lane. And here this old foul mouth, this phrase is related to William Murphy. So this is the circumstance behind second stanza, and in our forthcoming video I will explain stanza 2 and the concluding stanza of this poem. Thank you all. Have a nice day.